I'll give it a couple minutes before I start. Okay, you guys, I don't feel right. I just don't feel right. I hardly ever do an art stream in the evening. It's usually in the morning or later morning, usually early in the morning. And it's all nice and quiet and nothing's happening and I can concentrate on my art. I usually don't do them during the night, but here I am. The night is early yet. This is going to be a complicated art project, and I'm glad you could join me, even if it's on the replay. What I have going on is it's going to be a mixture. It's like a multimedia. It's a mixture of resin art and paint pouring. Let me open up my cam and I'll show you what I'm talking about. There's going to be several parts to this. Okay. All right, I've got a black canvas. I've got a piece of masonite. And what we're going to do is paint this masonite, let it dry. I'm going to paint the back side of the canvas and let that dry. And then I'm going to put this masonite inside here and glue it. Okay, once it's hard to get out, so I'm not going to put it in right now. And once this paint's all dry and the backer is ready to be glued in, I'm going to take and cut. Let me go this way to fit in the camera better. I am going to cut the canvas. I'm going to cut it to make it look like it's ripped in a couple of places. And I think I'm going to go in a diagonal direction. And then what I'm going to do is glue this dragon eye into the rip. Make it look like he's busting out. And then in the rips that I put down here, I'm going to put his claws. And I have one claw. I only have one mold. So it's going to take a while to get the other two claws. I thought 3 claws would look nice. So in this mold, I'm going to use this pattern here. So I'm going to pour the resin first because this has to cure for a while. This will take maybe 8 to 10 hours before I can take it out of the mold. So in 8 to 10 hours, I'll have another claw. And then in another 8 to 10 hours, I'll have another claw. So that's when we'll be able to finish the project, when I have 3 claws. So all I can do right now is pour this with resin and leave it sit aside, and then do the painting on this masonite board and the canvas. So I'm going to make up some resin. I'm going to paint these parts. So for now, I'm just going to make them just straight black. And let me just set this aside. Let me set this whole thing aside. There. Okay, so here I have my resin and my hardener. You got to mix 2 parts, of course. Here's my mold. And here's my little cup to mix. And I just have to get my black ink. And then I'll be all set to roll. Okay, I should have black in here somewhere. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I don't think it's in here. Oh, here's Onyx. Okay, I can use that one instead. I have different brands of black ink, black pigments. I just wasn't looking for this one. I was looking for a different one. That's okay, though. We can use this one. Let me see if I have it open. Yep, it's open. Well, I'm not going to need much resin at all. I mean, I'm not going to fill up this cup. And I'm glad that it has the little measuring on here. It's actually just a little 1 fluid ounce, but it measures in grams, cc's, and milliliters, and tablespoons, ounces. Okay, so I'm only going to need a little tiny bit. What I'm going to do is mix. I'm going to mix 5 cc's. So I have a 2.5 measure, and I'm going to put my hardener in first. I'm going to make it a little bit easier to see. Sometimes what I do is I take my marker and mark the little line so I can see it better. This might even be too much, but otherwise it's really hard to see. All right, I'll put my hardener in first. Of course, I went over the line. Let's see how bad. Not bad. It looks like it, looking down at an angle, though. It looks like more. I have to hold it up level with my eye to see if it's level. I notice my bottle is a little sticky, so what I'm going to do is clean it off. And I've got isopropyl alcohol for that. There. Yeah, I don't like getting the resin on my skin, so I try to keep my bottles clean. All right, now I'm going to put the resin part in there carefully. And I'm just going to hold the cup up by the light so it's level with my eyes, because it's really hard to see where the line is in these cups. I marked it with a marker, Okay, that should be it. I don't want to make too much because I don't have any plans for the resin. I mean, I don't have any plans to make anything else, so I'll just set these here while I stir it. Get them in. Now I'm going to put some pigment in there. And just put 4 drops. That should be enough. Probably way overload. These pigment resins go a long way. All right, stir this up. See how it looks. You have to stir this for a long time, you guys. About 2 minutes. Scrape the sides. Because the resin is real sticky. And it'll stick to the side of the cup, not get incorporated in there. Just stir it up a little bit better yet. I have some bubbles in there and I'm going to have to get those bubbles out. I don't have a decompressor. A lot of people put their resin into a decompressor. It gets all the air out of it. I don't know if it's the right name, decompressor. Don't know. Decompress chambers. They're like little cooking pots that take all the air out, sucks the bubbles out. But what I do is I'll either go with a torch real quick, my trusty torch, and just go like that, pops the surface bubbles, or I'll spray a little bit of alcohol in here. I think I'm going to spray a little alcohol in the mold to take care of any bubbles that might decide to stick to the mold. That happens sometimes too. Okay. Let's pour this. Some more bubbles come up to the top. Sometimes if I spray the alcohol into the mold, it evaporates and then I don't have bubbles. Pops them right away. So I'm going to just very slowly pour this in here. Now this one's going to have to sit probably a good 8 hours to be nice and hard. Pour it nice and slow so the resin has a time to creep in all the crevices. I don't want any air bubbles in here. Looks like I have a little bit of extra resin, and I'm just going to pour it in this next one. All right, I have that poured, and I'm going to set that aside for it to cure. Maybe 6 hours, if I'm lucky. I can take that out and pour another one, because I'm going to need 3. And I already have one. Yeah, I already have one. So if this one is done and cured in 6 hours, I'll pour another one, then I'll have my 3. So I'm just going to set that aside for now. Let's put it right over there. And then I'm going to get my box back here. Now I think I'm going to make this like a fire. I think I'm going to have sort of a dragon coming out of the fire. I'm not going to pour paint on this mason board, because if I get it too wet like that, it's going to warp. So I'm going to take a sponge and sponge on the color. Now you'll be able to see a little bit of this board through the rips of the canvas. So what I'm going to do is get some sponge. All right. And the colors I'm going to be using are a red, a yellow, and an orange. I'm going to put my red on first. And the sponge I'm going to be using is just a basic artist sponge to get a base coat on there, and then I might go over it with a sea sponge for my last layers. All right. Gonna put that paint right on there. This Amsterdam paint is a luscious, nice, creamy, thick-bodied paint. I like the texture it's producing too. A little bit more paint. That's a nice bright red. All right. That's good. That is good. Just going to let that dry a little bit. I forgot to wet my sponge. Now I'm going to be gluing that on the inside of this canvas. I think I'm going to paint this black. Yes, I'm going to paint the inside of this canvas black. Don't let me forget that, you guys, because I forget. We're just going to let this paint dry. You can sit and wait for the paint to dry too with me. Or I can speed it up with a hairdryer. So what do you guys think? Sitting and waiting for paint to dry. I could get my black paint and paint the inside of the canvas while I'm waiting. Could. Sure I am. That's what I'm gonna do. I wonder if I should go Payne's gray or black. What do you guys think? Yeah, I'm talking to myself because there's nobody in chat. I've got the wrong audience. I've got stalkers, that's all. Yeah, just stalkers. It's dark blue. Here's black. This is oxide black. I need to put my sponge in some water, so hold on. And just put my sponge in a little bit of water. All right. I'm gonna set this aside. It's almost dry. It won't take long. And then we're gonna work on this canvas. Now I want to paint the inside because you're gonna see the inside when I make the tears, and it kind of curls open, if it'll curl. So you're gonna see it. And I thought black would look good with the fire in the background. So we're gonna go ahead and paint this black. There's gonna be different steps and different parts to this. All right, I'm gonna get a paintbrush. This canvas I'm gonna brush it on. My bigger. This one here will do. All right, I've just got one of those cheap brushes, and I'm just gonna brush the back of this canvas. So Looks like my tube of paint is getting empty. Down there. That probably won't be enough, but let me just wet this brush and see if I can stretch that paint a little bit. Get some water. Go. I should have some music in the background, but I don't know what I want to listen to. And I'll get a copyright strike if I listen to what I want to listen to. But anyways, let's just do this here. I think I'm going to paint the wood frame too while I'm at it. And just let paint go all over the place here. Okay. I think I'm going to go in just for a little bit of water. Just one more drop of paint. All right, guess I'm done with that part. Gonna clean my brush out. Hey, Tams. Yeah, it's kind of boring though. I don't have no music going or anything. I'm just painting the inside of a canvas right now. Do you ever see anybody paint the inside of the canvas? I do weird things. Well, it's really not uncommon, but at least I don't have to talk to myself now. All my stalkers aren't really interested in what I do here. They want to see drama. They want to see me fight. And I always said, hey, I'm a lover, not a fighter. I only fight when I absolutely have to. Ain't that right? It is really nice to get away from all of that fighting, boy. And they just don't stop. Anyways, let's not talk about them. This is my art stream, and I don't want to spoil my enjoyment talking about them. So, what I got here is a canvas that's painted black on the other side, and now I painted that red. I am going to put a layer of orange, maybe yellow. Yeah, we'll do some yellow next. And I've got a sponge. Got my orange paint. You having a good night? Yeah, I fell asleep earlier. Otherwise, I was going to stream this before. And I just fell asleep. I think I'm going to put some yellow in here now. You're streaming later? That's right, what she said. Oh, are you going to talk about Bob Saget? Cool. What time are you thinking about streaming? I'm almost done with this, actually. I don't think there's much more I can do right now. It's going to have to be a two-part. So I'm just going to leave that now. Put my sponge in the water. There. At least I have some fire colors down here. I have my claw poured. I have one claw. I'm going to use this one. And then I have one I just poured. This other one was extra resin, but I'm going to use this claw. So I have to wait about 6 hours, maybe 6 to 8 hours for that to cure. Too bad that resin takes so long to cure. And then I have to make another claw after that. Let's see if I can. Yeah, I guess I can pour. There's one thing about these cheap canvases is there's always these wrinkles in the corner. But after I pour paint, they seem to tighten up. So I'm going to put this on the side to dry. And again, we're going to use fire colors. So when I rip this canvas open and it kind of curls open to see the dragon inside, you'll see the black from this side. That's what I'm thinking. Think it'll work, Tams? Is this going to work for me or is it going to be a fail? Like that stone that broke the other day on me. That was a fail. All right. I think I already have some colors mixed up. Let me go look in my arsenal of paint. Yep, I found some orange, red, and all I need is yellow. Yellow. I have to mix those up. This red has silicone in it. So let's see what we got here. This paint is old. As old as I am, probably. No, I'm just kidding. Let's see. This isn't a true yellow. There's a lot of oils in this paint. Split. It's kind of a greenish, actually. No, this actually looks like baby mustard yellow. Yeah, it's not a bright yellow, so I'm not going to use that one. This is for another job. It looks like pea soup. That's another job some other day. I want to just put this one back on the shelf. And let me get a little measuring cup. And we'll make up some yellow. Let me see what you're saying here, Tams. Do another one, yeah. If it don't work, do another one. That's exactly what I do, too. Yep. Maybe put some Floetrol in a little cup. That might be too much. That's the Floetrol. And I'm going to put some yellow. the light is kind of washing out what I'm doing here. The light is really bright right here. You can see what I'm stirring up here. Nice bright yellow. Let me turn that light down. Let me try it on 50%. That's still bright. Okay, I think this is kind of thick. See when it just like kind of drips off the stick in long strings? It's too thick for what I'm going to do. We have all different kinds of ways of describing the consistency of our paint when we pour paint. Let me see. I finally have some time to get the master cylinder fixed. Oh, really? Oh, hot mama. You know, it'd be nice to race you. It sure would. Me and my jalopy. You and your classic. An old dirt road somewhere. Something to make us hoot and holler. I'd be drinking my kombucha and you'd be drinking your Jack. And let her rip down the road and see who wins. Probably you would win. I had Mad Max put my car together. Yeah. You never know with his blunders. Okay, now we got some yellow. Let me check out this red and see the consistency. Get another stick. Now there is silicone in the red. Okay, we're pretty much the same consistency on the red. That's good. Well, I don't have, I don't have a big carburetor on my car. I don't have, I have I don't know, I think it's a 360. A 360, I think, or maybe it's a 306. I remember, but it's actually from a truck. I think that's the motor he put in there. It's a 360. But don't set that in stone. Okay, let's check out my orange here. It's such a pretty color, orange. I like orange. I really don't care for yellow, but I like orange. And that kind of feels like it's the same consistency too. Yeah. All right, good. It's nice to have all of my paints basically the same consistency. Then what I'm going to do is mix one more color. and just to get the base coat down on the canvas. I think I'm going to use yellow. Use up some of this yellow because I don't use it that much. All right. No silicone is going in this cup. Well, actually, with a truck motor being in the car, my car has a little bit of giddy up. It's not, it's not a sluggish thing. It'll still, spin your tires and do all that great stuff we used to do when we were kids. I used to have a Challenger, and I used to do power stands with my boyfriend. We had a lot of fun with our cars. And those were the days, the good old days. He used to pour bleach on the road and do his power stand in the bleach, and it would cause a lot more smoke. And he used to go and do it right in front of this old lady's house who hated it. I mean, what? Were we being bullies with our cars? Yeah, we'll be at the gas station every 10 minutes. And you know those old cars? They don't like this new gas. Good. I've got my base coat almost done. And I'm going to just pour a little water in it. It is a little thick. Well, I think we used to be bullies with our cars because we'd always go and do our power stands in town in front of this, I don't know, Myrtle or Myrtle, I think her name was. Myrtle. I don't know. Myrtle the turtle. And she would come out, and she was a big lady. She had a lot of rolls. Her hair up in curlers, wearing a scarf and a like a duster you wear around the house. She'd come out yelling about the smoke because he'd pour bleach on the road. And she just hated the cars. She'd call the cops and we'd all be gone. Well, the cops didn't want to do much because everybody knows each other in small towns. The cops were not pricks. Let's just put it that way. Okay. I'm going to start dumping this paint now. I'm glad you could stay this whole time. I'm glad I didn't bore you. Okay, let's get square with the world. All right. Yeah, I'll have to ask and see. I do think she was cremated. I do think that she was cremated. Before I pour this paint, I'm going to just take a break and then gab a little bit. I'll have to ask her daughter and see, but I think she was cremated, and they had a GoFundMe account. So I think I donated to that. I'm not sure. I don't remember. I just don't even remember anymore. Everything goes by so fast. But there's a memorial page for her. And I seen the A lot of us heard her stories about the Appaloosa horse that she had. Well, the pictures of that horse are up now. And what a beautiful horse. I mean, wow. The markings on this one are really nice. Well, I'm really glad I met Proud too, because I've made two wonderful friends. I've got to know her daughter a little bit, and what a wonderful person. Yeah, her daughter's great. And you know what? I can see so many traits from Proud American in her daughter. And I was talking to her about that today. Well, no, I wasn't. I was thinking it today that there's so many traits. She was spunky. She was a little pistol, that girl. But she was funny and she liked to have fun. And, she had a heart for helping people. I know that. She got burnt a lot too, but all right, I'm gonna pour this paint now. And how am I gonna pour this paint? What should I do? But you know what, Tams? When I first met her, she told a fib about her age. She always made herself younger. Yeah, she did. I thought when we first met, she told me her age. We were the same age, and then she changed it a little bit later. That girl, that silly girl. I miss her. I really do. Okay, what I'm gonna do? What am I gonna do? I'm gonna pour the colors in this cup and layer them. I'm gonna layer the colors in this cup. There's orange. I'm gonna put a little red in there. Red can be overpowering, so I'm not going to use too much red. All right, we're going to go in with some yellow now. And then we're going to go back to orange. Can't see in the cup that good. Then we're going to go back to yellow. It's all layering in there. And then we're going to do a little red. Now the red had the silicone in it. And back to orange. And I should have enough in this cup. I should have enough paint for this, probably too much. Plus, I'm going to put a yellow base coat on. So let me grab a glove because I always smear my paint around with my hand. I'll be right back. I got a couple gloves here. Let me put on the black glove. Yeah, Proud was a pistol. She'd jack you up if you did something wrong she didn't like. All right, so now I'm going to pour yellow. I know that you can't see it because of the light, but that's yellow. I'm going to just pour it on here. Any runoff is going to run off in the box. I'm going to just take and coat this canvas with paint and get ready to pour the other cup. I think I'm going to do a flip cup. That's where you put your cup upside down, poke a hole in it, and let the paint run out of the bottom of the cup. There's going to be a lot of paint on here. Lots. It's going to run over the edge, and that's okay. That's what I want. I hope there's no silicone in this yellow. There wouldn't be because I just mixed it, right? Yep. I'm losing it. Okay. All right. Yeah, they are. Some of them are black. You get black, white. That's just a coat of primer that's on there. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to take and torch it. Let me take my glove off. Yeah, I buy mine on Amazon. The brand is Arteza. I buy them bulk. I buy them 12 for, I think $20. All right, I'm going to take my torch and torch the bubbles out. I'm running out of gas. I had to turn it up. But this will pop all the bubbles. You can also spray a mist of alcohol on here, and that will also melt bubbles. You don't necessarily need a torch. Or you can just manually pop them. All right, you guys. Tams, are you ready? Here goes. I am going to take this cup of paint, and I'm just going to plop it down on there like that. Yes. Like that. Let all the paint kind of run down and it'll start seeping out the bottom. But if I poke a hole in the top, let me just use up some of this paint. Okay. I can use up some of this orange too. We'll tilt it. We're going to tilt a lot of this off. And everybody says, well, geez, you pour your paint on the canvas and then you dump it off. But that's what creates the effect that you're looking for. So, and I'm going to, when I pour it off, this box is going to catch all the extra paint. And there goes my camera being blurry. Come on. My camera don't want to focus. Look at that. Look at that. All right, now what I'm going to do is take a big tack. I have these big tacks. And I'm going to poke a hole so the paint comes out easy. Okay. Maybe another one. And that'll break the suction. Suction. And I'm just going to keep lifting the cup and setting it back down to get all the paint out. Oh, come on, camera. Don't be so blurry right now. Focus. There we go. Look at what that paint is doing. Look at that paint. Just very gently slide the cup to the edge. There we go. I think I've lost a lot of orange in there. See, the red just really takes over. But look what that paint does. That's what silicone does. Now I'm going to, let me pop the bubbles. In case there's any bubbles in there. Now what I'm going to do is just start moving the paint around. Let gravity do what it does to the paint. Gravity. It's basically what it is the gravity is controlling the paint. I'm just going to go off the edge a little bit, and then I'm going to bring that paint back. So now I have a big pool of paint down here. And I'm just going to run it off the edge a little bit. And bring that big pool of paint back. Try and balance it out. And then I'm going to start going down towards the corners. Just let it roll off the edge a little bit. And I'm going to bring the paint back to the center. That's kind of why I have a big, enormous amount of paint. It's kind of pooled, and then you kind of, when you tilt, you work with that pool of paint. And I'm going to go down towards the other corner now and let that roll off the edge. Okay. And I'm going to bring the paint back to the center. And it's okay if this don't look like fire. It's abstract art. And that's what I'm into. I'm going to just turn this around. And so now we're going to start going for the other corner. But look at what that paint does. I mean, that is what I like about this. And that's what's relaxing, is to watch the different designs and blending and the cells, the way they form with tilting the paint. That's part of it, this tilting. I'm going to let that run off a little bit. That's good. And then I'm going to come down to that last corner. And this takes a while sometimes because now I have dumped a lot of paint off of this canvas. And now it's going to run slower. Just let it go off that edge. How did I learn to do it? By watching YouTube videos. I've never heard of this kind of art before. And in 2018, I was being cyberbullied so bad by Proud Popo, the Proud Popo. And I was looking for something different. I needed a new challenge. And I found this paint pouring technique. I've never seen it before. So I thought I'd try it. And I got instantly addicted to it. And I'm just going to run some of the paint off of this corner over here. So I tried it and I liked it. And my son actually liked it a lot. And everything I make, somebody in the family seems to always want. So I started doing a lot of them and I started donating some. I've donated to the animal shelter. I made some unique designs and I donated them for auctions for charity. I've had some in a gallery for a while. And this paint pouring has become very, very popular. Very popular. And I see the silicone is not sticking to the canvas in all of the places, because I'll show you what I see. That's the problem with silicone. Right here, you can see where the black canvas is poking through. And that's what the silicone does. And I'm going to say that's okay. Because if this is supposed to represent, some type of fire, it's okay to see something black through the flames, something charred. So now I'm going to come in with the torch again and pop the bubbles. And you don't even have to have a torch. You can spray alcohol on here And alcohol will create all kinds of crazy cells too. What the torch does also is brings that silicone up from the bottom. And when it does, it brings other colors with it. Sometimes if I have a color that is washed out, the torch will help bring it back. Like I see with this, the yellow is kind of getting washed out a little bit. And the torch might help bring some yellow cells up from the bottom. And I can see all kinds of little tiny ones coming in. So that's it. That's all I got right now. Let this paint dry and let that resin get hard. And then we're going to come in and we're going to cut this. We're going to cut this and make tears in it. And I'm going to finish painting this dragon eye, and he's going in here, and down here I'm going to have his claws shredding through the canvas. And that's why I'm going to put this underneath. And I'm actually going to glue the eye and the claws onto this mason board underneath this canvas. But that'll be tomorrow. You know, I got to wait now for paint to dry and all that good stuff, but that'll be it. I really like these colors. I think what I'm going to do, I think the paint is most vibrant when it's wet. And when it dries, it's a little bit darker, and it doesn't look as nice as it does when it's wet. So while it's wet, I like to take pictures of it and use them for digital art or stuff like that. Use them for thumbnails. I've got that light, that bright light in there. Hold on a minute. The bright light that's making a spot. Okay. I got me a picture. I was able to turn my phone in a direction that it got some of that light that's reflecting in there. Got it out because it looks like a white spot. There. A dragon tat. That's cool. I like tats. I'm making a thumbnail for this video, so bear with me. What time are you going live? Tams, what time are you thinking about going live? I'm just making a thumbnail for this video. I don't mean to be rude and bore you, but sorry. All right. Oh, man, this is giving me a hard time. All right. Right there. Right up. There. Now I'm going to send it to myself. Then download it and then re-upload it here. Because I don't have YouTube on my phone, my messenger. What you saying here? Others are streaming and I feel more comfortable doing streams when my... Yeah, I hear ya. You're going to try and go live earlier. Okay, my thing is uploaded now. Let me go see how it looks on the internet. I just made a thumbnail. I hope it's not too big. All right. Let me download it and then re-upload it here. Let me see. Download. All right. Okay, I'm uploading a thumbnail. All right, there it is. I made a thumbnail. Art Studio B on fire. So, Tams, you know what happened? I was expecting some molds and a remote control toy for Sasha. And we had 6 inches of snow today. The mailman delivered what would fit in the mailbox, and obviously that box from Amazon did not want to fit in the mailbox, and she did not drive down into my place. She was probably afraid she'd get stuck. Kevin did not get out and plow yet, so I didn't get my package from Amazon, and I wanted my nicotine lozenges, but I ran out and I got some other ones, some Rogue brand. So I'm trying to quit. I am not going to give up. Other people can just quit and be done with it. I am struggling to quit smoking. It's not easy. Not easy at all. But I'm going to hang in there. I'm not going to give up and say, well, I can't do it, because I'm not that type of person. So we'll blame it on the mailman today, huh? Or blame it on the weather? Blame everyone else but myself. Okay. Yeah. But I got some other lozenges. I got them here. So we'll deal with it. We will deal with it. I'll give you another peek at how my painting is doing. See, you can see where the canvas is showing. I might purposely make some black spots on here. Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. I'm just not going to give up. I'm not that way. I don't want to give up and say, oh, well, I can't, because I know I can. You know, and it really shouldn't be this hard. Geez, other people quit smoking and they did it. If other people can do it, I can do it. I can. It's just that I don't want to. That's the problem. But I have to wanna. I have to wanna. So what do you say? I've been at this about an hour and a half now. This is another long stream. I don't like to keep them too long, but I think I'm going to end it for now. You feel like talking tonight, Tams? I'll give you a link if you want to hop on. If you want to talk a little bit, I'll send you the link in your email. What do I got here for email? I'll just respond to this one. You're live right now. Oh, it's nice that I'm not bombarded by the stalkers. Yeah, it's harder. Hey, if you want to talk for a while, I sent you the link. It's in your email. I'm going to end this stream for now, and I'll be back tomorrow to finish this up. You have a good night, and thank you for joining me tonight, Tams. You kept me company. I always enjoy company when I'm doing a project. Yeah, I'm just going to go make myself a cup of coffee. So if I'm not here right away and you hit the basement, just give me a minute and I'll be right back. So I'm going to end here. You guys have a good night. I hope that you're into art. I hope that I've inspired something to show you that it's not very hard to do. You don't need a lot of skills. Take care. Be blessed and be safe.